You guys, this is it. This is my last wedding of the year. And here's my bride today, Michelle. Michelle has really beautiful skin. I love her freckles, so I'm just gonna make sure I prep her skin really, really well with the Glow Recipe niacinamide drops as well as the Embryolase Latte Cream. A lot of people on my last video thought that I don't use lip balm, so here's a clip of me applying lip balm to my client's lips. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, so you can kind of see how the texture of it looks throughout the video. Michelle said that she just wants a really bright, fresh makeup look, something that really opens her eyes and makes them pop. I asked what her preference was for warm or cool tones on her eyes. She says that she likes warm tones, so I decided to go with some peachy colors because I think that will lend a little bit of warmth but brighten up her complexion. I find for some facial features and skin tones, if you were just going to go in with like a warm brown color, you don't really get that bright, youthful effect that something like more peachy coral shades would give you. Here I was trying to fill in her brows with the NYX brow pen and then it like dripped on her face. I don't know how this happened. So we just, wiped that off and continued along. Michelle's eyebrows are already really light and like fluffy and airy looking, so I want to go ahead and define them but not make them too structured. So I just added a little bit of like a light taupe brow powder to the bottom edge of her brows and cleaned that line up with a little bit of concealer. This way I get a really light, fluffy, natural brow look, but it still looks nice and clean. Here I'm just smudging a pencil liner with a brown eyeshadow for liner and just slightly dragging that outwards. I'm keeping it pretty thin and close to the lash line and to the outer portion of the eye. I blended it upwards a little bit with like a kind of a transitional shade here just to diffuse it even more. These are the first set of lashes that I'm going to use. You can see they're more of like a doll eyelash. They're really light. They're a little bit longer and wispy. Then I added these ones on top. They have a similar style, but they're a little bit fuller and a little bit shorter. This way I can add a little bit of extra fullness to the lashes without weighing the eye down. Her right eye was watering a little bit, so you can see the lashes coming up on the inner corner. I'm gonna go in and fix that later. I just want her eyes to kind of calm down first before I go in and continue to try to mess with it. For her face, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter to give her a really nice glowy base. Keeping to the glowy theme, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Blush Wand in Pinkgasm. For her under eyes, I still love the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I love how like full coverage it is and how long wearing it is, but to go with the rest of the theme of her makeup to keep it a little bit lighter and glowier, I did mix it a little bit with the Glow Recipe niacinamide drops. This just thins it out and makes it look a little bit more fresh. Here I'm using a glowy setting powder. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. It's discontinued, but you can use something like the Hourglass Veil Powder. For foundation, I'm going in with a really light layer of a silicone-based makeup. I use airbrush makeup on all of my bridal clients because I like how lightweight it feels on the skin. It looks great and it's super long wearing. The highlighter I'm using is from Laura Mercier. It's a little bit more fine and soft looking than the Danessa Myricks that I've been using lately. Here I'm using one of the Dior bronzers. I really like these because they're not too warm, they're not too cool, so it's a really good in-between of like a bronzer and a contour. Here I am finishing off her complexion with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I realized at this point that I forgot to add some shadow underneath her eyes as well as something shimmery onto the inner corners. This is really going to open up her eyes even more. This is the Japanese Heroine Make Mascara that I always use. It's just really great for brides because it's so long wearing and smudge proof. I lined her lips with the Annabelle Demure lip liner, which is one of my favorites. I mixed a couple of shades from the Makeup by Mario lip palette for her lipstick. This is how the final look came together. Thank you guys so much for joining me on all of my weddings this year. I hope I'll have more to share with you soon.